is the Monday after the NFL. Well, now it's the Tuesday after the NFL season, but that means usually there's a lot of coaches and GMs, if they're going to get fired, they will get fired on that day. This year, there was a lot more in-season firings. You had Frank Reich earlier this season. You had Matt Rule in the middle of the season. You had Nathaniel Hackett towards the end of the season. What are the biggest takeaways from the firings, Jake?
Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett was obviously a big fire, not even being there uh a year. Cliff Kingsbury is another big hot fire. Lovey Smith is another big fire. Lovey Smith, another coach who hasn't been in Houston for over a year. And I think, you know, when it comes down to coaches, I think Denver's gonna get Jim Harbaugh from Denver. And um I've been hearing Jeff Saturday is a strong candidate to stay head coach of the Indianapolis Colts.
What?
Um,
No way.
that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing rumors
From
that
who?
Jeff
Jim
Saturday is
Irsay? Jim
a
Irsay
strong
on meds
candidate.
or something? But like, how can you? He lost to the Texans. He lost like every game. So okay, where are you hearing that from?
I've just been hearing it from sources on Twitter and sources on Instagram. Um, you know, so
Fair enough.
what are your thoughts on that?
Fair enough. I mean, if Jeff Saturday stays at the Colts, you will literally. I cannot imagine any way their fans are happy. Me as a Titans fan, I would be happy by that because Jeff Saturday was an amazing player, very great player on the Colts. Played 1 year for the Packers. All respected that he is an awful head coach. He has no idea how to manage time clock management. Again, could you learn that? Sure. But I would not trust him going forward. So I would actually love it if they kept him. But I'm really thinking because obviously the big story is going to be Lovey Smith, right? 3-13. They get the win on Sunday, but then he gets fired afterwards. Yes, 3-13 is a terrible record, but it's his first season. But there's just so you're going to get the people. Obviously, Brian Flores filed the lawsuit last season about against racial discrimination, so that's going to be brought up again. And you can have that debate with Brian Flores. Definitely, you can have that debate with maybe other coaches like Wilkes when he was with the Cardinals and now he's with the Panthers and he's having huge success. You can definitely have that debate. I really don't think it applies here though because the Texans and it has not much to do with Lovey Smith, but Lovey Smith should have never got this job in the first place.
Yeah.
What does Lovey Smith offer? He got fired from Illinois. Illinois. He wasn't good enough to cut it for Illinois, and the Texans are like, yeah, I think this guy could be the future to lead Davis Mills to the promised land. I mean, don't know what are they thinking? I'm true, and that's truly a question. I'm not even like making fun of them. Like I don't know what the Texans. So they fired David Culley after a season. They fire Lovey Smith after a season. What is the plan? Hopefully, it's to draft a quarterback, but even then, and I pray for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud if they go there, because that is a disaster waiting to happen right now. But so that's the most questionable. I wouldn't go right to the race hiring thing. I just think the Texans are incompetent. But the other thing I'm looking for is the Cardinals and Titans because those are the teams with the two GM vacancies. The Cardinals left, and obviously the Titans GM got fired midseason too. I'm really looking to see, especially as a Titans fan, how we build. But those are two middling teams that have some promise. One is Kyler Murray, one is Derrick Henry, of course, some star players. What do you build off of? What do you give to give those fans some hope? Because the GM is everything. There is so much for an organization. If you blow that up, you're gonna blow up everything. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, or looking at. And I'm also kind of surprised, like I mentioned in the opening, there was a lot of mid-season firings and not really a huge Monday firing like we've seen in the past. But that's what I've focused on.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of happy that the Dolphins have Chris Greer as their general manager. He makes a lot of big trades, a lot of great trades too. And I feel like that's a
Definitely not
strong
afraid to spend. Yeah,
trade you want in a GM.
definitely. Yeah.